Hello, here we are.
We are live.
We're live. It's Friday. And speaking of lives, that's exactly what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah.
So, broadcasting, online videos, all that is pretty much the norm these days, and how we kind of operate business. And we get asked this question all the time, which is, what is the best broadcasting platform to use? And when we thought about it, we're like, well, it really comes down to what type of broadcast you need. So we thought, what a valuable topic to unravel today. So today we're going to talk about two different platforms. We've got Zoom and StreamYard, and help you decide which is best based on the type of video you want to make.
Well, good morning again.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm great, and I'm really happy it's Friday. And this is the kind of the highlight of my week sometimes, I'll tell you.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Well, I've got my mood necklace on, so you can tell what kind of mood I'm in. I'll move back.
Does purple mean good?
Let me look. Purple means calm. So we only have to worry. Let me see if it
hopefully
gets
I keep
black.
you that way.
Huh?
I said, hopefully I keep you that way. Keep you calm.
If it goes black or
if
red.
it turns black, is that what it is? If it's black?
Black or red, we are in trouble. We may as well just cut it off. All right. I was really waiting to show that off, but anyway.
I like it.
I think it's funny. I think the light has more to do with it than anything. But anyway, welcome to Marketing Mix. Yeah, we'll get back on topic here. Every week we try to mix it up a little bit. That's why the mix and marketing mix comes into play. We may do Q&A. We may be talking about trends. We may have some guests, but today we're going to do a comparison of two different platforms that everybody's talking about, everybody's using. So let's go ahead and look at our social media platforms first.
You got it. All right. Every single week we go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and you'll catch the replay on Instagram and LinkedIn. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Marketing and a Mic. We always get so excited because every single week we've got new subscribers, and it's so exciting. And as always, check out Fusion One Marketing YouTube channel because we are putting out fresh videos every single week. In fact, we just uploaded a bunch of new videos there. So free resources for you, all to help you with digital marketing for your business. So yeah. So here we go. So people are using video like crazy. They're doing live streams, presentations, you name it. And really, we're no different. And I think what's kind of funny, we were taking a trip back down memory lane, and we thought, okay, last year around this time, we were put in that position of, okay, if we want to keep doing business, we got to figure out a way to do this online through video, through virtual events. And so we started first with Zoom. And we quickly realized it wasn't the right platform for us, but it was quite hilarious trying to get us to figure it out. And I think we have a video.
Oh, we're going to show it?
Yeah, I was going to share it if you're good with that. I pulled it from the vault last
The archives.
Yes, I did.
And what's funny is, for those of you who are watching, people are always like, well, you guys have been doing this forever. Really, we haven't. It's not even been a year yet, but we've come a long way. And yeah, I guess go ahead and if you can get that clip pulled up, you'll see.
Yeah. So let me make sure if you can hear it once I play it. If you can, I'll stop it. Can you see it?
Wow, is it just me or do we even look younger?
Oh, yeah. It's like the stress hasn't taken its toll yet. So let me know if you can hear it, because I'm going to try to pump up that volume. Nope. Let me hang on one second.
Okay.
That's the thing about these.
Yeah.
These lives. Right. It's worth watching, so we're going right back to it.
We have time. I'll say good morning to Steve Johnson, Andy Interkin, Gail, and Cindy. So Cindy understands how hard it is to get this stuff to work. Every Thursday she deals with it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. It isn't playing, is it? Don't you love that?
I don't hear the volume. I wonder why.
Okay,
there we go.
Live on my end.
Here we are, just sitting there live.
All right. Are we on? It says so. I think we are. Yeah, we are. I see us. Finally. Wow. It's so easy. All right. There you are. All right. Yeah. The outtakes of getting ready for this kind of stuff when it's not working is so much funnier. So much more fun than what we're actually doing, probably. Yeah. I just turned my volume down a little bit.
Oh boy.
Now, we don't claim to be professional by any means, but
we've come a long way.
Yeah.
So I think it was a full, excuse me, 20 seconds. 20 seconds that we were sitting there live. And I had no idea. We're just, looking at our phone, and we're live.
Yeah, that, if I remember correctly, that was the first and only time we tried to interface Zoom with Facebook. So it died a quick death for us.
Yeah, that was a little tricky for us. And, for one of the things that was really nice for us when we were like, well, Zoom is really probably not going to be for what we need the best option. Nothing wrong with Zoom because we're going to get into that because it's certainly got its advantages. But it was that delay that was tricky for us because there's that you're live, but do you know you're live? So anyways, so both Zoom and StreamYard have a lot to it and a lot of advantages and disadvantages, but it really comes down to what type of broadcast you're looking to do.
Yep.
So we're going to kind of dive right in. And the first one we want to talk about is live streaming.
Yeah. And this is a huge thing and everybody wants to know, what's the best way to do it, quickest way, easiest way. So what's better for live streaming? And today, like I said, we're going to be talking about Zoom versus StreamYard and what we found. This is just our experience. And for live streaming, we say, the winner chicken dinner, I guess, is StreamYard. And the reason why, audience engagement, you're able to see people's comments, comment back if you want to, multi-stream, which is a huge thing that we'll get into a little bit more, and customization tools. Oh my gosh, that is huge. So we'll just go right down the list here. So audience engagement. What I love about it is that you can see the comments. Now, one little thing about it is that I can't see who's watching us unless they put the comments in there. So the good thing about it is that you can see the comments and interact with the audience, which is fun. And I see Andy's getting a big kick out of us. It's about like you cutting your hair on live the other day, Andy. You're on mute, Sarah.
Sorry, that was a treat for all of us.
Yeah, I was going to say the haircut that was seen around the world. But anyway.
I was like, is he really going to do it? Oh, he is.
Yeah. So anyway, you can definitely interact and it adds a little bit of layer of security. Now, people watching us can't see it. Well, I guess they can depending on what platform they're on, but we've had a couple little weirdos come and comment, and Rob, who is so funny, Rob's always in the background deleting. So yeah, it adds a little level of security if you don't want people to see the comment. And you can also add call to action banners. Like if you wanted to slide a banner across there to say like us, share us, whatever you wanted. So it's just kind of fun that you can interact with your audience.
Yeah, I totally agree. And another thing that was such a winner for us is when you're doing live streams, the whole point is to connect to as many people as you can. So what StreamYard does is they allow these multi-streaming, which is they call it kind of multiple destinations. So essentially StreamYard works with Facebook, it works with YouTube, it works with LinkedIn, it works with Periscope / Twitter. So it's so nice to be able to set up one broadcast and then have it go out to multiple channels at once. So That's just a really cool thing to me, that we can just set it up and we just have all these different platforms that we're live on at the same time.
Yeah, and it's so fun too, because if you had other people on with you and they had destinations, what we call destinations, or their own channels, we could also link out live to those as well. So that's really cool. And anyway, it just opens up a whole new world. And if we ever get permission to get on LinkedIn Live,
yeah, I know we should put a disclaimer that it's.
If I don't turn into a skeleton. Once we get LinkedIn Live, we'll be going there at the same time. But anyway, the multi-streaming, I've never heard of that. And to me, that is awesome. You know what else it can do, Sarah?
Tell me.
It can switch people. We can switch places real quick.
Oh, yeah, that's what you want. I forget. You would think that I know by now, right?
We can customize it and just voila. I have this weird thing that she's good at looking straight on. Again, we don't claim to be professionals, but if I look a different way, anyway, I like to at least look like I'm looking at Sarah and not out somewhere into space. So anyway,
that was a really smooth segue.
You can customize it, you guys, just like that. If you're on the wrong side, you can just move yourself around, completely customize and brand for you. My gosh, you can put custom overlays. Look at this one that Sarah did for us. This is absolutely beautiful. So you can do these kind of things. I mean, it's got our logo. We're celebrating our 10 years anniversary right there. You can have multiple brands. This is really neat. And it took us a while to figure this out, but we had our marketing mix show. We like to meet people in here for Fusion One Marketing. And then we had Biz Talk. You can actually have brands located. It's almost like having folders.
Yeah.
So like we can have our marketing mix folder and we can load all of our stuff in there. And we can toggle over to Fusion One, load all of our stuff in there, meaning, the overlays, all the personal branding, all that kind of stuff. And you just switch back and forth. It's
so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about, well, what if you're doing multiple live streams during the week? Yep. So you've got different programs. You can customize your brand so it just stays in your little folder, like you said, and pop it all in, and bam, your brand is right there. And yeah. I love it because it's all drag and drop too, which is super easy.
So fun and easy.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to talk about the next piece, which would be if you want to do a large meeting. So if you want to do a large meeting and that's something you do on a regular basis, what's the best for you? For us, the winner for this is definitely Zoom. One of the caveats too, and we should have said this at the top, but one of the main factors is how many participants you need. So if you're looking at kind of circulating 10 or under, StreamYard is for sure the better option. But if you need on a consistent basis larger than 10, you might want to consider Zoom. But the three main factors of why Zoom is better, in addition to additional participants, is that the breakout rooms, the member control, and the comment tools. Like the breakout rooms is really cool because that kind of helps you put together these smaller, more focused groups. And that's great for networking. And you can keep it random, where you could just randomly select people, or you can manually piece it together. And you could set up a time limit, but essentially it's just breakout rooms. It's like having a meeting and then everybody goes into their own little focus groups. And that's, to me, fantastic because it's really creating that in-person meeting atmosphere, but doing it virtually. Yes,
you're exactly right. I'm in a group called BNI. It's a business networking group, and we've really struggled, and a lot of people have struggled with not meeting in person when you're networking. It's the hardest thing ever. And our president, Cindy, who's on here, they came up with like you said, you can go into different breakout rooms. And that to me has made all the difference because you don't feel like there's 25 people trying to talk at the same time. And it kind of gives you a little bit more feeling of face-to-face. So yeah, breakout rooms are awesome. And then also the meeting controls, you do have a lot more controls at your fingertips for Zoom for the large groups. Again, like you mentioned, large groups are best on Zoom. You can designate panelists. You can have co-hosts that can help you do all kinds of things during, I call it a broadcast or a presentation. People can leave. They can answer questions live. They can also type in questions. You can even set up polls ahead of time in Zoom so that people can answer questions, and then the presenters kind of know what people are interested in hearing about. So there's a lot of really cool behind the scenes features. Now, I will say, when we were talking about passing co-hosts and hosts and all of that kind of thing, there is one little thing that we figured out. There may be a way around this. Again, like I said, we're not exactly, number one professionals about this, but is if you are a host, the host, make sure that you don't leave. I mean, what's still going on, because if you're the host, then everybody gets canceled out. So everybody's going to be leaving whether you want to or not. So anyway.
Yeah, you got to pass the torch before you decide to leave.
Exactly.
Another thing that made Zoom really great for meetings is the comment tools. Because I will say, with StreamYard, you can have, there is a section where you can do private comments, but it doesn't have any feature where you can have individual conversations or individual chats, which I think is really nice. And they also have a little raise your hand or hand raising, which helps to kind of help control the people that want to make comments. It helps keep it it's like having a classroom, if everybody's raising their hand and wanting to speak, it could get a little chaotic. So I think that's really nice, so that the host can kind of say, okay, I'm going to go to you next. You raised your hand first. And again, I think the comment piece of it is so nice, especially in a group, because it allows also with that networking element of, you can have group chats, you can have an individual sidebar chat. So another really, really great feature to Zoom.
Yeah, it is really cool. And you can raise your hand, and they just added a few, like there's a heart on there, there's clapping hands. I'm thinking there's a thumbs up. I can't remember, but yeah, they've added quite a few little things to make it a little bit more personable. And, it's hard to do that when it's in a big group. So
yeah, you're right.
All right. So that was number 2. Number 3, which is better for recorded video?
Mm-hmm.
And our pick is StreamYard. And I will say, to me, it's easy. That's what I go by. What's the easiest? And StreamYard definitely is. So why is it better for recorded video? You can test, you can pre-record. It has multiple layouts. Again, you can customize it, and it's very, very easy to download. All right, let's talk about the testing or pre-recording. As we know, live streaming can be a little unpredictable at times. I mean, you're like, is the internet going to work? Am I prepared? Does the presentation look correct? And if you're live, you're there. I mean, there's not unless you change it like we do when you are live. So it allows you to test, is basically what we're saying. If you're going to do pre-recorded things, you can test, and you can record over it as many times as you like. Play it back instantly, which is really cool, just to kind of see what you want to change. So I do love that feature.
Yeah, and we've done a couple pre-recorded marketing mixes, and you wouldn't know. We did, I think it was 2 of them for the Google My Business.
Yeah.
And we had structured it in a way, because we had to pre-record it, but what's so nice is if we didn't miss a beat on it. So anyways, so the multiple layouts is another thing that's so cool, because StreamYard really has, I think, perfected this whole thing with the layout. So however many people that you have on, and even if you're giving a presentation, or if you're wanting it to be more tutorial, you can share your screen, you can pull it up, and then you can position where you are on the screen. So we always talk about different layouts, and I don't know if we can see how we can do all these different fun little things. We don't like this one because it's too close, but I could also do a solo layout, which is really cool. So I'll just do this where Glenna is still on, but it's just me. And I think that's really neat. So when it comes to recording a presentation, you can still have those elements of the smooth layouts, and be able to pull up the share screen, which I think is so huge. And sharing screen is so easy. And what's really cool is if you have another person on, they also have capabilities to share screen. So it's not exclusive just to the host. If you've got something that you want to share and we're doing a recorded presentation, we both have that ability to share what we need to.
Yes, exactly. And you can have people waiting in the wings, and we may be talking about that. I forget if we have that on down in our notes, but you can have people waiting in the wings. Look at me, I'm changing colors. What am I?
What does that mean? What's happening now?
It looks like it's a light blue, so it says normal. Oh, and now it's changing to pink as we talk, which means cool. So I don't know. I'm just all full of emotions today and mood. So who knows what we'll get. But anyway, back to the program.
That's cracking me up.
All right. You can also download these, Sarah. It's very easy. When I say something's easy, that means even I can do it. So you can download it straight from StreamYard. But another really cool thing is that if you want to record it live and only go to your YouTube channel, guess what? Boom, it's there. And most likely nobody's going to be popping on your YouTube channel while you're doing it. So it's kind of like you're recording, but it goes directly there and you don't even have to download it. So that feature to me is so cool. And what you've done in a lot of cases, we'll come in here and record, and Sarah does all of our graphics. And they're always so beautiful. She actually takes the recorded version and can add all kinds of cool graphics to that. So it's just unlimited.
It really is. It really is. So we're going to hit on the number 5 type of broadcast, and that would be when you need to do a webinar. So a webinar is a very large group. You obviously have to set it up in advance. So for us, the clear winner on that is Zoom. Now, the main hot points on this is that you can have a larger audience. If it's, I mean, I'm forgetting what the number is, but I think up till recently it was like 10,000.
Oh my gosh.
So it's massive. And the sign up for it is really easy, because if you're going to have that volume of participants, you need to make sure that the sign up and registration is really easy. And the host control features, this is really huge too, because if you are doing something of that magnitude, like a big virtual event or a webinar, huge workshop, you need to have that host control. So yeah.
And I guess I kind of alluded to it a moment ago, but we did that for somebody, and we were talking about having people in the wings. It was crazy. We did a show for another company. So I say we, Sarah, which way? That way. Sarah did the show for another company. So she was able to be in the wings, and we can't show it. There's no way of showing it here, but she can actually see people. If you're inside StreamYard, you can see people kind of lined up. They're kind of grayed out, and you can pop people in and out. And wow, she popping people in and out. It was amazing. So it's ideal for that kind of thing. And you're able to practice it and reduce, the number of roadblocks and headaches when you become live. So it was quite impressive. I think you had to deal with like 15, 20 people popping in and out. I don't know. It was nuts. But point being, you can do an event for somebody else and be in the wings, and they can't even see you.
Yeah, but that was for StreamYard that we were using.
Yeah.
Which was, that was beautiful for that. And I think we're going to touch into that.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Yeah.
I'm like,
that's for StreamYard. You're like, what? Okay, we're back to Zoom. Yeah, they have a cool lot of.
No, but that's a good point. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. But yeah, I think that with a webinar, you really don't want to have that. You want to have that host control, because when you have a zillion people, it can get super chaotic.
That's true.
So you kind of want to have it in that view only format. So that was what was really great. And the sign up, that's really neat. Now that's something that StreamYard doesn't have. StreamYard, it's got its advantages, which is that you don't have to download anything, and it's just a link. So it's a link that you share to your guests. But when you have so many, and they need to register for it. StreamYard doesn't have that capability. It's just not built that way. So that's what's nice. So people can register for the event in advance. You can also do a bit of data collecting, so you can get their name, their email, and capture all that stuff in advance. And once it's scheduled, you can manage the people that have registered. So you can resend confirmations, you can resend reminders. So it's really powerful for people that are attending, and it integrates with Google Calendar to help keep track of upcoming meetings. So if you've got, a lot of virtual events or large events coming on, it's really nice that it captures that, and you can have those little reminders for your participants so that, it automates it, and you don't have to sit there and be like, don't forget about our thing coming up. So really easy in that way.
Yes, sorry about that. You can always tell that I'm StreamYard heavy. I get caught up in that. Zoom's really cool for the host control too. We'll just
no, but we're getting into what you were going to talk about next.
Get me back into StreamYard.
Yeah, right.
All right. So we're ready for number 5 here. Yes.
Okay. Right. So here we go. What would we think for what you were talking about? Like a show type format or interviews?
Yes. Shows and interviews. And I talk to customers all the time about these ideas. I think it's so perfect for this. Why? Easy interface. We've already kind of talked about that. And what we mean by interface is it can go out to, multiple channels at once, seamless transitions, and you can repurpose content. Oh my gosh, because it's so great for podcasts. And we'll get into talking about that here in just a second. So let's talk about the easy interface for StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
It really has one of the easiest platforms, I think, for live streams. To get started with StreamYard, it's not all that difficult. In fact, when we found it, I just went and watched all the YouTube videos about StreamYard, and we were up and going in no time. We added all this fun and pretty stuff later. So yeah, it's like Sarah said, you don't have to download it. The only system requirements, you basically have to have a laptop or whatever you want to use. You can even use your phone or a desktop. You have to have a camera and a microphone, but a webcam works just fine. I think that's our favorite way of doing it, but we have had some people on with all the other things. So make sure you have a strong internet connection. It's even recommended that if you can plug directly into your outlet where your internet is, that's the best way to do it if possible. And then the side dashboard is so easy to load. And as you've seen us drop stuff in and out and move things around. So the interface is just very cool.
Yeah. And I think the takeaway of StreamYard is you need to think about it as it's really great for live streaming. It's really great for that show type format. In fact, there's a lot of television shows that are now using StreamYard because the transitions are easy. You can, like you were saying earlier, I can pop guests on, I can pop guests off, I can have people waiting in the wings. It really essentially works like, say, the Jimmy Fallon or something like that, where he can have people coming on and off. He can make transitions. As we showed before, you can change out the layout of how people view what's happening. And we did this for another company. They had sort of a conference type atmosphere going on, but they wanted it as a show. And so we had this ability to kind of make it look like a live show, like you would see it on TV, and it was really cool. So yeah, that's what I think StreamYard is really perfected. It's having that kind of live show atmosphere. It's great for having guests on or a few guests. So I think it's so cool with that.
Yes, it is. And you did a fantastic job. It was amazing to see.
Well, thanks.
It really was.
It was a team effort, though. I don't take all the credit. That's for sure.
Well, it was just really neat. So that's available. How about that? If you guys ever want to do that, you can be in the wings and help somebody out. Now, I'll tell you what, there's a lot that goes into, I know we act silly and we just have fun on these shows, but that's just what we like to do in our job and life period. So I know we act silly, but a lot goes into these shows. Preparation, graphics, practicing, all that kind of stuff. I know you may not realize that, but the way we act sometimes. But if you do all of that work, you want to make sure that you can repurpose this content. And that's another good thing that you can do at any time with a pre-recorded video, which once we're live, our live is over, it turns into a recorded format. So you can use it for different things. We take it and we use it. We can make blog posts on it. We can actually turn the audio into an audio podcast. I guess this would be considered a video podcast, but we can turn it into audio podcasts and blast it out to all the podcasts, the most popular podcast destinations. Mm-hmm. And we do that through Buzzsprout, and Kelsey does that for us. But anyway, we are big on repurposing all this content. So don't go to all this work and just use it for your live. Use it for some other things as well. And it's also huge for branding and hosting shows. The event that Sarah put on, she was able to do what they call lower thirds, which would be the very bottom, where they would have the person's name. You could tell what they do, what company they're with, put their logo on it. So it makes it look really professional. And kind of takes the quality of the show to a higher level. So there's just so many things you can do.
I agree. And that was really neat that, we had this client they had this conference. They needed to focus on the conference. They didn't want to be sitting there fiddling with controls, who's coming in, who's coming out. So it was really wonderful that we were able to come in and help them do a seamless program and just work behind the scenes. So, yeah. So let's hit on our final, which is better for business needs. Now, we talk about, when we talked at the top of the show about live streams and videos and chat and all this kind of stuff, and as business, we're doing things virtually. What's better for just those types of everyday one-off things? And we kind of look at it as it's divided. StreamYard is really great for those one-on-ones. So if you have to do say a one-on-one review with somebody, or you have to do a one-on-one, just whatever it is, check in with a client, all that kind of stuff. It's so great for that, because it's so easy for not only you, but anybody, a guest coming in. I mean, you just send them a link and boom, they're on, no download. Small meetings, 10 or less. I mean, my gosh, how often do we use StreamYard for small meetings? All the time, weekly.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on it all day sometimes.
Yeah, really. Video sales calls, another great thing too, because we talked about that, and the recorded presentation. So if you are giving a sales call and you need to also provide information during the call, StreamYard makes it so easy to do that. And then how do you feel about what Zoom would be best for?
Well, I mean, we kind of mentioned it before, but just to kind of do the overview again. For large presentations, the meetings, if you have over 10 people, virtual events, it's huge, and workshops. Oh my gosh, it's awesome for workshops, especially for those different work groups that you can put everybody in. So it has its place. They both have their place. For our circumstance, StreamYard is what we would choose. But if you have a large audience of people, then I can see why Zoom would be a lot better option. I'm not sure about going live. Those interfaces are a little bit quirky, but as you saw, of course, maybe if we would have practiced it more, we kind of abandoned ship before we tried.
Well, that's what's cool about StreamYard. So when we go live, there's a big red button. You can't see it, but when we click it, it says you're live, and we are live right at that moment. There's no delay, because it's so, you just feel for the people that are on, as we did, and they're on there and they're like, they're picking their nose, or they don't know what's happening.
Or worse.
Yeah. They're like squinting in or trying to fix their hair. And then they're like, oh, everybody saw that because I was live. I had no idea.
But Rob wants to know, but do they have cat filters? No, they do not have cat filters on StreamYard. And Sarah's the only one that doesn't have cats. We have cats. Kelsey has cats. They're usually in the broadcast somewhere. But and I also want to say good morning to Perry. Hey, Perry.
Perry.
How are you? And Andy Interkin says, this is great info. I need to be using StreamYard. Now that he's figured it out, yes, you definitely need to be using StreamYard. Were you using StreamYard the other day? I think he was just doing Facebook Live. But anyway, yes, Andy, he broke the internet almost when he was on our Biz Talk show. So I think it would be perfect for him. So Anyway, we
Yeah, and you
love
think about that sales stuff, like the sales
Yeah.
element, it's huge. I mean, if you're out there and you're trying to meet with clients and you want to do that kind of virtual face-to-face, StreamYard could not be a better platform. It's so easy. And it's so easy, again, like for the guests, because they can just get a link, pop on. That's it.
Yep. Oh, it's endless. And again, Cindy said this has been great info. Thank you. We love talking about it so much, and we would love to brainstorm with you, anytime, especially with StreamYard.
We need like I Heart StreamYard t-shirts.
Yes.
StreamYard, send it.
Well, Sarah, you put together a lot of great info here for everybody. So do you have any last comments before we take off?
No, I don't. I hope that this helps everybody to kind of navigate, what's a good, easy platform based on what they want to do. And that was our whole point.
Yeah, I hope it does too. And as always, we have free consultations. We'd love to sit down with you, brainstorm how maybe you could use StreamYard or Zoom. Just message us. We're always there for you. And thanks for tuning in. And we will be back next Friday at 8 o'clock. So be sure to join us in. Have a great week.
See ya.